Hey there, YouTube. It has been a while. I have not been on this bike for probably 4 months. Sometime in October was my last ride. And I've had a couple people message me and ask me if I was still around. So I thought, this is the first pretty nice day. We're in the upper 60s here in Ohio. It has been cold. Last couple weeks it's been 20s and 30s, and I'm what you could call a fair weather rider. So yeah, I hadn't been out, and decided, man, it's pretty warm. It's kind of windy out today, but I really didn't care. I've had that itch. I've been watching moto vlogs, been watching some of you guys' vlogs out there. Faith Biker, NC Stoney, all the other ones I can think of. I follow so many of them, but so yeah, getting out on the bike and just watching everybody's videos. I thought I would make a video and just tell you that I'm all here. I spent a lot of time this winter. I mean, I get really busy in the winter anyway, but it's been so cold, and I hope it's not too windy to where you can hear this. But yeah, it just, you know, I'm a wrestling coach, and so from November to March, you know, I go to my 9-to-5 job, and then I go directly to wrestling, and on the weekends we have tournaments and things like that. I'm just so busy that I haven't even thought of making videos outside of moto vlogs, which my vlogs aren't that good, so if I just did like non-motorcycle vlogs, they would probably really suck. So yeah, that's where I've been. Lots been going on here the past month or so. You know, so I'll just kind of start from where I've been and what I'm thinking about doing this year to make the channel a little more watchable. You know, I went back and watched a lot of my old videos, and the first couple videos I had a lot of views. There's just, you know, my video is always just rambling. That's all they ever are. It's just me rambling, usually about the same thing. Last year, I think in every video I probably touched on Victory and Harley and my dream bike, and I don't know when that'll happen or when I want to do that. It was going to be, for that part of it, it was going to be this year. I was planning on doing a trip with my dad to Pennsylvania. It's kind of a trip he's always wanted to take, where he grew up on the Pennsylvania-New York border there in Bradford, PA. And but about a month ago, my dad just had an emergency quadruple bypass heart surgery. So he's not going to be able to do the trip this year, but he's doing well. It was a scare. You know, he's relatively young for that. He's 57 years old, so it was definitely scary. But thank God he's doing well. He's recovering well, but he's just not going to be able to do that trip this year due to the recovery time and vacation time that he had to use. And so I already told him no big deal. We'll just plan on it next year, which is even better. So that'll be postponed. That's one of the things that's been going on. And, I mean, it is really windy through here, so I apologize. So I was watching all the videos and realizing I just ramble and ramble, which that'll probably never change. I'm just a rambler. But if I can have some sort of different topic every week, I think that would help. And then last year, like, I got so excited about vlogging and doing all these that I started putting them out any chance I could. I recorded every time I rode, and it just became really dumb, to say the least. It just, like, I just wasn't putting out any good content. I watch everybody else, and like, even if somebody's like, hey, I'm checking out this new diner or something, they'll talk about the diner, and then they'll just kind of, you know, drive and talk about an old story or where they're going or why they like their food. It was something that means something. Like Faith Biker, I love the way he does it. You know, he talks about his faith in Christ, and I think that's an awesome calling. It's an awesome way to do it. I know he put one out around Christmas, and like that I really liked, like the meaning of Christmas and what it is to him, and what the Bible says about it. And I love how he does it, and that's the way he formats his channel. I don't think that I'm at where like I'd want to do exactly like that with my channel, although I am a follower of Christ, and you know, so I relate to a lot of those conversations and topics with him. You know, a lot of those guys, like, they just always have some kind of story or topic. So I'm going to try to do that this year. I'm going to try to only put like videos out maybe on like maybe twice a week or once a week. Try to get it a little more routine. Maybe on a Friday, or you know, Monday, Friday, something like that. Trying to put a little more effort into maybe less content but more quality. We'll see. Still working on the speaking into the microphone and not saying and all that stuff that I know I've probably already been saying today. So some of the things that helped, like I did have the honor and the privilege to preach at our church back in January. And so that was helpful in talking in front of people. But sometimes, like when you're just talking into a microphone, you just don't realize what you're saying. And so I know you're talking in front of people, you do that a lot. But I felt like I did a pretty good job of not saying and you know. So trying to transition that into the camera talk hopefully will work as well. And I'm hoping to upgrade cameras. I know this camera is not the greatest. It's just a GoPro Hero 2 that I bought used last year, got it at a great price. So maybe by the end of this riding season I'll get an upgraded camera and maybe work on some sound quality. I don't know if I need to do the Cena, or I don't know what everybody uses. I know everybody does it a little bit different. I would like to do, especially on windy days like this, man, it's just, I know this mic's probably picking a lot of it up, but it is kind of below my windshield, so there's days where it doesn't do bad. It just depends on which way the wind's blowing. On here, I hope to grow the channel a little bit this year. Last year I understood why it didn't after I went back and watched the videos, which I didn't, you know, I knew going in rewatching them that they weren't great. But sometimes, you know, you just get people that'll close subscribe hoping that you'll get better. But and I talked about it a little bit last year. I don't really do this for the subs or anything like that. I'm not trying to be like a professional YouTuber and make money off of it by any means. But when you put in time and effort and stuff into anything that you like, I mean, you're hoping people are at least watching it. But you know, even if they're not, it's whatever. It'll get better as time goes on. I know that. I've already made videos about Victory, Polaris deciding to drop the Victory line. So I won't make a big video or anything, or a big long talk about it, because everybody's pretty much gotten over that shell shock, which it was kind of on the writing was on the wall last year. I even talked about, discussed it with the sales manager when I was looking at that cross-country 8-ball last year. I said, you know, the writing's kind of on the wall that it looks like they might drop the Victory line altogether. And he assured me, of course, that wouldn't happen, which it inevitably did. But you know what? They don't make this VTX anymore either, so, and it's 10 years old, and I'm still not having a problem with it. So, I mean, am I disappointed that they dropped the line? Absolutely. I understand from the business aspect, you know, they want to put all their effort into the Indian line and compete with Harley, which is fine. That's what everybody's trying to, I think, do. But I just don't care for, I love the technology that they put into Indians. I love the motors, everything that they've done with Indian. I think it's great, but it's just not my look. I know it's probably a comfortable bike, and you know, I could probably get over the look. Some of them I like their Dark Horse, and their anything that they black out I think is pretty cool. But man, they're expensive. They're just as expensive as Harley. And, you know, if I'm going to go spend $30,000, excuse me, on a bike, I know Harley's going to be around. Do I know Polaris won't decide here in 3 or 4 years, when they haven't gained much market share, that they're just not going to drop that Indian line too? So those are the things that go through my mind. But I liked Victory's because of the looks and the engineering. I love the motor technology, which I will say Harley has done a fantastic job with those Milwaukee 8s. I think the technology was much needed, much improved. Unfortunately, it's just out of my price range. But I'm going to count how many times I say in this video. But I think overall they've done a fantastic job. I'm just disappointed that Victory decided to, or Polaris decided to discontinue that line. I thought they could have really competed as well, but you know, maybe they'll integrate some of that technology and those looks into some of their Indian bikes. You never know, but you know, it doesn't really matter. It is what it is. And yeah, I might keep this another year. It is actually, it's going to be paid off by June, so it'd be nice to have a bike without a payment. And I've already said it, I'm kind of a fair weather rider anyway. I haven't rode it in 4 months, so you know, I think I can survive. And it's a pretty good bike. And hope all you enjoy. But I'll go ahead and cut it out for here and for now. And appreciate you guys watching. For the guys that have asked how I'm doing and making sure I'm okay, I appreciate it. Ron C is another one. He actually got me hooked. My wife was probably a little angry. He started doing those everyday carry videos, and man, I thought that was really cool. So a lot of the things that he had on there, man, I was on Amazon buying a lot of that stuff up, and I started doing my own everyday carry. Maybe I'll do a video of the stuff that I've been carrying and some of the ideas I've gotten from him. So I thank him for those, and I know he's reached out and asked if everything was okay, so I appreciate it. And other than that, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time. See you, YouTube.